Hello, beautiful Lyran Starseeds. This is Lyran Star Goddess Oracle and Tarot. I say Lyran and not Lyran. I don't know why. It just comes out that way. And this channel is dedicated to daily readings for Lyra and Irma Starseeds. And we're looking at what kinds of soul lessons and energy we're moving through. And today I'm looking at energy for the day itself and for the first week of June, but I'll be doing these readings daily for mostly for us to come together and recognize that we're moving through this time and space purposefully and together. We're here. We're here as a Lyran soul pod, and we have purpose and we have a meaning behind our dharma and what we are doing here. So let's take a look. I am using the Lyran Star Goddess Oracle and Tarot. This is the Oracle. Let's see what we have going on today. We've got the Merkaba. So the Merkaba is the light vehicle around you. The field of energy that creates that light vehicle for your light body to move between the dimensions. And then we have dream incubation. So what this is telling me right off the bat is that a lot of us we're doing a lot of interdimensional work during dream time. So, and here's the channel card. There is a lot of information that's coming through during dream time. So writing these down, being very aware of what's going on in your dream time, or trying to remember when you wake up. I feel like there's somebody saying it's difficult for me to remember my dreams. So this is just a skill. It's just a habit, and it's an inquiry, and it's a calling. So you just call to your higher self to help you remember these dreams when you have the intention to remember the dreams before you go to sleep. The more you do that, the more you will remember your dreams. And then when you have the practice to write them down, as soon as you wake up, or when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're thinking about them, write them down and you will recall them. You'll start to recall them easily and effortlessly. We do this naturally. It is part of our transpersonal senses, and it's part of what you do. It's just a skill. It's just something that needs to be paid attention to, really. And then I know a lot of us do this easily as well. I feel like that happens because we've had a lot of time, different lives, where we've already honed this skill, or we're doing that. We have done that before, so we kind of step right into it in this incarnation. I'm going to look at some Lyran Star Goddess Tarot right now, and I think I'm going to do the Old Wise Tree spread today. I like that spread. I probably will do that a lot. So let's just take a look here. And let's see what we got. So I'm going to start from the roots of the spread. This is the roots of the situation, or the roots of the energy that we are looking at today. And that's the Two of Wands. So this is about, we are calling in, of course, with our higher self. We're talking to our higher self. We're talking to our angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light. We're talking to our Lyran light council. And the roots of the spread are talking about stepping outside of the comfort zone, having to step outside what we are used to or what is familiar to us in order to move into something greater than what we are experiencing in the moment. And as I look at that, we're moving into the heart of the situation. And it's like, woof, I've taken myself out of a situation, or I've taken my energy out of a situation that was painful. As a matter of fact, instead of completely dealing with it, I decided to take myself out of that energy because it was too painful. So I removed myself from the processing of a particular, I don't want to say soul lesson, let's just say situation. I mean, ultimately it is a soul lesson, right? But I removed myself from processing this energy. And I'm also hearing I removed myself from over processing. So there are some of us who are processing and processing and processing until it's just a habit, and we have really gotten all of the information that we need from the processing. We don't need to process anymore. So that is a positive thing when we're talking about recognition of a soul lesson that has been over processed. We already have the information. Nothing new is going to be gleaned from it. It's time to move forward and move on, which is super interesting. Let's find out more about this. So happening now into the near future, there's more of this removing self from this type of energy. We've got the Hermit reversed, which is really deep diving into uh, energetic management. So grounding, looking at your auric bubble, setting your space to the energy and frequency that you would like to channel and like to hold. And then the big picture is talking about the past. So this is timeline stuff that we're talking about. And if we're focusing on the past and on past soul lessons, it doesn't mean you can't think about them, think about what they are. But if you really get into that frequency and into that energy, you're stepping back, you're stepping onto the old timeline. So this is the big picture is about that past. And I want to know what we need to know from that past within this spread. But part of what we need to know is that we're stepping away from it and onto the next timeline or into the next, I'll say, bubble of energy that is, and I even want to say sacred bubble of energy. There's a connection with sacred force, sacred energy, the Lyran field that is happening right now. And this is the stepping away from what is familiar and what was really normalized in the past into something new. This is advice. We've got the 10 of Cups reversed in advice. And this is about kind of rocking the boat. It's about creating an emotional upheaval with this change. This is the soul lesson. Here's the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is talking about these things. It's looking for information. It's talking and communicating in order to receive information. With this channel card up here and with this dream incubation, this is about asking for the answers before you even go out in your light body and astral travel during your dreams. This is about channeling that information, being able to channel it during your waking time, but also channeling it while you sleep and writing it down when you wake. This is about accessing that information and recording that information. So that's the soul lesson. The soul lesson also has to do with this rocking of the boat. It's like, it might be time to rock the boat. Let's see what that is more so in relation to. Here's the past. The past is the Four of Pentacles reversed. So this is the heart chakra being expanded. Instead of shutting down, it's opening up. It's being expanded. This is present time energy. We've got Temperance reversed and we've got the Seven of Cups reversed. Present time energy is talking about very much owning and focusing on the imbalance of what's going on in this moment. So we're focusing on this imbalance. And when I feel into that, it's the imbalance of feeling there's a heaviness that we're releasing because I'm more so feeling the lighter part of this. So in order to step into that higher frequency or that lighter part of this processing or of this, I even want to say maintaining the energy within the physical body, the past does have to be acknowledged. specifically, it needs to be acknowledged in order to step away from it or focusing on that imbalance. You know, when the temperance is reversed, it can also literally be poison. So there's a poison of this past energy. And the poison can be when we're not looking at it as a soul lesson, something to move through, understand, glean gnosis and wisdom from, and move on. And I mean, this is so triggering because it's hard not to take things personally sometimes, but there's something about taking something personally, and it could very well be even projected onto you. So it's like, yes, it's toward me, it's coming at me, but this is even pulling back away from the microscope. It's about pulling back out of the bubble and observing it, observing the poison for what it is. It's in the past. It's a past soul lesson. Right now, the soul lesson is gleaning the information. Okay, let's take a look at this is what the Council of Light is specifically talking about. This is the higher self. This is angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light. This is the future self. So higher self is talking about parting ways, separating, something not necessarily being diplomatic or amicable or not feeling awesome in its separation. So there's an acknowledgement of that here. Then angels and guides are talking about the Nine of Swords reversed. There's actually, even though this separation is happening, there is a release of anxiety and oppression around it. And then the future self is talking about really stepping into spiritual authority and doing things in your own way. This is not necessarily stepping into the group practicing, you know, it's not going to the goddess group. It is actually, that doesn't mean you can't do that. It just means there's a definite spiritual authority within self that's coming forward when you make these separations. And sometimes we just have to make these separations because the energy no longer matches. Our energy doesn't match, or it did at one time in some way, and we've gone off in different directions. So there's a separation that needs to be made, something stepping outside of that comfort zone. And there is some kind of an ending, a pulling out of energy from one situation in the past in order to step into that new timeline. These two cards are energies of release. This is what to release at this time regarding this energy. This is about being an expert at your worth. What that tells me is that even if you have done a lot of worthiness work and you have attempted to really hone that worth, however far you've gotten with that, which looks like you've really come a long way, stepped really into that, there's more. There's even more. There's even more. There is a particular channeling of spiritual energy and an energy of spirit that is still to come. So however you have been channeling that frequency, there is more, which is really actually exciting and amazing. If you feel like, oh wow, I really already felt like I got there, you're even opening for more, which I just absolutely love. This is the outcome. And I'm really loving this outcome because it has a lot to do with the past and this release. So we've got the Five of Swords and we've got the Ace of Swords. The Five of Swords, a lot of times this is about betrayal. However, with this Ace of Swords, it is about karma. And the Ace of Swords is also, it's the sword of karma. It is the Excalibur. And this Five of Swords, he is carrying all the swords that he presumably stole, but from the Seven of Swords, he stole those so that they would not be used against him. He has five of them here. These are five swords of karma, and the Ace of Swords indicates that it is absolutely time to lay those swords of karma down. It is time to separate from the energy that continues the loop of drama and chaos These are things that you've already learned. This is information that you've already learned. It's past soul lessons. You don't need to keep looping them. And this is the very perfect outcome and ending. Just laying those down, laying those swords of karma down. You can ask for assistance from your light council regarding this, especially when it comes to the dreams, incubation and dream time, and channeling that during daytime and waking time, but also there's just a lot of information coming in during that time when your body is resting and your light body is out and about. So please let me know how this has resonated with you. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Beautiful Lyran Starseeds. Thank you for being here. Love you. See you soon.